Hello. Basically, I've just come on because I've just seen an article. I've just got word of the fact that the Queen has had two remaining Dorgies, which are a Corgi and Dachshund cross. And I've just received the really sad news that one of them, Vulcan, who the Queen is believed to have had since at least 2007, making him roughly about 13 years old. We kind of think that is the kind of age range. He apparently has passed away very, very sadly a few weeks ago at Windsor. My hair's a complete mess. So basically, that means that the Queen only has one remaining dog left, and that is her remaining Dorgi, Candy. I just feel really, really sorry for the Queen. This year has been absolutely horrendous for everybody, not just the Queen. And to have suffered a loss of a pet as well is just absolutely heartbreaking. So we've seen the Queen, doing video calls since that event will have happened. So we know that she's coping, we know that she's okay, but still, when you lose a companion, when you lose a friend, it can have a really, really big impact. So my heart goes out to the Queen. As I said, this is just a really, really quick kind of breaking news video. I haven't got my usual setup. I'm in my living room, so I'm just going to try, if I can, to read as many questions as I can see popping up on the screen. Do excuse the glasses. Mary says this must be gut-wrenching for Her Majesty. Yes, I think so. Lots of rest in peace for little Vulcan. It is so very difficult to lose a pet. Stephanie says, wow, you were up so late. Yeah, Matt's gone to bed. I'm kind of staying up, and I was just browsing through the news. And obviously I got wind of the fact that Vulcan had passed away. So I thought I'd better jump on. I better tell you guys about it in case you haven't seen it. Again, I can just about see some comments popping up, but they're really, really small in my screen. Anna says, how many dogs did the Queen have? I mean, at one point she had loads and loads and loads of corgis. You used to see the Queen with corgis en masse around her. But recently she's kind of wound down her corgis. I think basically a concession to age. I mean, for the first hand, it might be a little bit tricky when you're, with mobility and the potential for falls. If you've got a whole cluster of dogs, a whole pack of dogs around your feet, especially corgis, because they kind of, they get in there and they're very kind of feisty, aren't they? So it makes sense to kind of, on safety grounds, to wind them down a little bit. But also the Queen's age, I suppose there was consideration to, were the dogs going to outlive the Queen? But so I think she kind of hasn't replaced her Dorgies, and of course she started breeding her Corgis, and of course she had Corgis, straight purebred Corgis, for many, many years from her first Corgi, Susan. But in the later years she also introduced a cross, and that was the Dachshund with the Corgi, all still descended from Susan. But basically the Queen has just one left now, and that Dorgi is Candy. Yes, I think all of the Queen's doggies will go to doggy heaven. They do have a pet cemetery. The Queen does have a pet cemetery, and I think it was at Windsor or Sandringham. I can't remember. I did a video on it once, and I can't quite remember the details. But the royal family do have a pet cemetery. I think it might actually be at Windsor, but I'll go and check the video after. Lots of people saying thank you for updating. Sorry if you just keep seeing my finger. I'm just trying to flick the comments and trying to read them. Lots of people saying rest in peace to poor Vulcan. I wish I could show you a photo of Vulcan. But yeah, I think Vulcan and Candy and a few other of the Queen's Dorgies that have passed away, and Corgis, featured in one of her birthday photos, I think, at one point. Let's just kind of go up again. Stephanie says, so true. Meghan's grandfather, Doria's father, died from injuries sustained in a fall while walking his dog. Yeah, so I think it was just kind of, a concession for age. Raynette says, could you post a link for your video? I will go off and find it once I've gone off live, and I will link it in the description of this video once I've gone off. So yeah, basically that is the news of the evening. Rather unfortunately, I don't like having to bring you bad news. You know, fortunately, it's not anything worse. It could be human as well. So I'm really pleased that I'm not here bringing you that kind of sad news. Do you have any questions about the Queen's dogs or corgis or dorgies before I go? How old was this corgi? We think roughly, we estimate about 13. We think he kind of first appeared round about 2007. So roughly that makes him about 13 years old, although we can't be completely sure, but that would probably be a good estimate, which is actually a good age for the breed. Different breeds have different kind of age, life expectancies. So, so yeah, we think it was a good old age. So, you know, he didn't die young, or, you know, we don't think there was any kind of, you know, complications or anything. And it was a few weeks ago. Mary says, thank you for this update. Thank God you aren't saying London Bridge is down. Yes, London Bridge, the code word for the Queen passing. Thank goodness I'm not saying that. Lyle says 13 is a long age. Yes, it is a good age, I believe, for the breed. So yes. And of course, he would have had the most wonderful life, of course, living with the Queen. I think he had his own. I think the food was quite good. I think I remember reading somewhere that the royal chefs actually prepare the corgi's food. It's not just stuff out of the bag. It's not just stuff out of the tin. It is like proper, you know, gourmet dog food. If you wanted to come back as a dog, I'm sure you'd choose to come back as one of the Queen's dogs. Aran is saying that's roughly about 80 in dog years. It might be. Regina says praying for the health of our UK friends. Yeah. Barbie says the Queen was, or shall I say, must be sad to lose a pet, a part of her family. Prayers for peace and God bless. Yes. It's really sad. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes more just to kind of take any questions. If you're just joining, I know I've got 40 people joining now. The Queen's dog, one of her two remaining dorgies, which is a corgi and dachshund cross, all descended from Susan, her first pet, has passed away a few weeks ago. His name was Vulcan. We think he was roughly came into the Queen's existence, so probably born around about 2007, which makes him about 13 years old, and it only leaves one remaining dog for the Queen, and of course that is Candy. Now, someone's just mentioned Meghan. One of the things that I did like about the Queen in recent years is when Meghan brought one of her dogs over, the Queen was seen sat in the back of her car with the dog, with Meghan's dog, and I thought that was really sweet. I think the Queen just loves dogs. I don't know if she'll get any more. I mean, again, there's that kind of issue of, will the dog outlive the Queen, who will look after the dogs when she's gone? I mean, I'm sure some family member would, but, you know, the Queen is down to her last remaining dog. Lady Buckingham says, is the last one Candy also one? I think so. I think all of the corgi line has descended from Susan, but obviously there's been a dachshund introduced at some point. Aran says everything feels like it's falling apart as the year comes to a close. Yeah, and Tisha says it's been a bad year. Tisha says it was 7 years for every 1 human year. And let me just scoot back up again. Anna M says, I just woke up to hear, I think you're awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the updates. Got to get to work. Yeah, I mean, I don't like bringing bad news. It's not something I enjoy doing, but it happens. And, you know, eventually it will be the London Bridge is down, which I really don't want to bring you that news, or even it could be Prince Philip. So I'm glad at least it's dogs and not human. H London says, how sad. Yeah, sorry, I know there's some glare in my glasses, but I need them. Stephanie D. Kelly says, Queen Alexandra famously loved animals and was gifted many pets. I believe she had a large pet cemetery. Yes, it might have been Sandringham. I did make a video on it. So yeah. Lady Buckingham says, hush on London's bridge. Yeah, and it's going to be a really, really big wrench for the Queen to lose Vulcan. Yeah, I hope London Bridge won't happen soon either. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Can you see my candles on in the background? I'm trying to be a little bit quiet because Matt's gone to bed. So, yeah, it's just kind of a late night update on what's going on. So I'm going to go now. I'm going to keep this very succinct. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do all the usual. I'm not going to say if you've enjoyed it because it's not a topic that you particularly would enjoy, but if you found the video useful, give it a thumbs up. It makes YouTube push it out to more people so that more people can get to hear the news. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. You never know when I'm going to do one of these live pop-ups, so make sure you hit the notification bell. So from me in Shropshire, mwah to you all, and goodbye.